Parashat Vayigash, there's an important lesson for us to know, to understand, and to fulfill. Of course, every pasuk and every word and every letter of the Torah has many, many lessons. As we know, Rabbi Akiva, he would explain not only on the paragraphs and the sentences and the words and the letters, but even on the crowns which certain letters have. He would develop and teach new concepts in Torah, tili tilim shel halachot, meaning mounds and mounds of halachot, and on each little crown upon the letters. And it says in the Midrash Otiyot Rabbi Akiva, 365 new concepts of Torah and explanations in Torah on each one of those crowns. And there are thousands and thousands of crowns in the Torah. So if you imagine how much more he explained on the letters and on the words and on the sentences and on the paragraphs, millions and millions of halachot. So every word in Torah is important. Every letter, every prick of the pen and a little crown has great significance. Anyhow, it says here in Parashat Vayigash, ואת יהודה שלח לפניו אל יוסף גושנה ויבוא ארצה גושן. ואת יהודה שלח לפניו אל יוסף להורות לפניו גושנה ויבוא ארצה גושן. Yaakov was on his way to Egypt. He's coming to see his son Yosef, who's become the viceroy in Egypt. And before he arrived, he sent already his son Judah ahead of him, like to prepare the way, the literal meaning. But Hazal say, Lihorot means to set up a yeshiva of Talmidei HaChamim who will understand the Torah in depth and be able to be Moreh Horaot B'Yisrael, who will be rabbis who can give decisions in halacha and teach Talmud. These are the words of Rashi. Litaken lo bet Talmud, to open a bet midrash to study Talmud. Shemisham tetzeh hora'ah, that those who will learn there will be able to be poskei halachot, will be rabbis who can give decisions in halacha. And this is a very important point for all of us. If a person wants to change his locality, his neighborhood, and go to a different neighborhood, okay, so maybe he'll check up many points. How is the air in that area polluted? Are there sufficient spaces of gardens and fields? How close is it to his business? So he won't have to commute too much, and other advantages. But the first thing that he should check up, is there a yeshiva there? Do they have a seminar for my daughters? Is there a good synagogue with rabbis who can give halachic decisions and guide us? These are the real important spiritual advantages that a person must look for when he's thinking of changing his location. Not only the physical aspects, but mainly the spiritual aspects. A community with all the religious facilities on a high level is the most important point in our lives. People learn from example. People are impressed by the way other people live, and especially children at a young age, they can be influenced. And the whole outlook and whatever a person hoped to bring up his children correctly according to the Torah and etc., if they're in bad locations, bad neighborhoods, the influence from neighbors is very powerful and very harmful. As Hazal said in Avot, Harhek mishachen ra ve'al tithaber lerasha. Distance yourself from a bad neighbor. That's the worst thing. A bad neighbor, you're living door to door, next door. His children, his wife, his way of life can influence you and influence your wife and influence your children and be very harmful. Therefore, Hazal say, Arhek, distance yourself, run away from this bad neighbor. Make sure you have good neighbors. And then it says, don't have a connection with an evil person. It didn't say run away from him. It didn't say don't live in his neighborhood. It just says don't be connected to him because people can influence you. Have connections with good people who can have a good influence on you. So the first thing in a community has to be to set up a yeshiva. Sometimes, there are groups of Jews who are Shomrei Shabbat, etc., and they move to a new locality. Their first outlook should be, let's set up a good synagogue, have a good rabbi who can guide us and teach us. Let's make sure we have a Talmud Torah, a yeshiva ktana, a yeshiva gdola, a kollel. All these things are a must. The first thing we have to build up is our spiritual necessities. Ve'et Yehuda shalach lefanav Goshna. Yaakov Avinu is coming to a new country, Mitzrayim. The first thing, open up a Beit Talmud to make Talmidei Hachamim great in Torah so that they can be Moreh Horaot. Lehorot lefanav. That he'll have the right spiritual guidance there for him and his children and grandchildren. There's a Mishnah in Avot that speaks about the great importance of living in the right city, the right neighborhood, etc. It's in the 6th chapter of Avot, the Mishnah number 9. Amar Rabbi Yossi ben Kisma. Rabbi Yossi ben Kisma said, Pa'am ahad, once upon a time, Hayiti mehalech b'derech. I was walking on the way. Meaning it was not his custom to walk on the way. It happened once in a lifetime. He was obviously someone who was sitting and learning Torah and not walking around. But it happened once that he did take a walk, maybe from town to town or from neighborhood to neighborhood. Upaga bi adam ehad. And a person met me. Natan li shalom. He said, hi, shalom. V'chzalti lo shalom. I returned to him. I reciprocated his nice greetings. Amar li Rebbe, me'eze makom ata? He asked me, Rebbe, where do you come from? Amarti lo me'ir gdura shel hachamim.